Joining us live now is the Deputy Opposition Leader Sussan Ley. Sussan, thank you for your time as always. So if that is the case, and the Treasurers, again, state and federal, aren't helping the RBA, should Michelle Bullock have just made the tough call and increased rates?
I'm not here to give the RBA advice, but what Michelle Bullock has confirmed, Pete, is that Australians will be facing a tough Christmas. Yes, there's been a reprieve for now, but it's not going to help with the rising prices that are hitting the pockets of every household and small business. And I just want Australians to know it didn't have to be like this. The reason we are where we are, with no one feeling any better than they did when Anthony Albanese was elected Prime Minister, is because of his failure to put in place a proper economic plan. I'm having roundtables with small businesses around the country. I've just come from Adelaide with my fabulous colleague, Nicole Flint, who used to be the member for Boothby. I had small businesses almost break down in front of me, holding on to their power bills, their insurance bills, telling me what their costs are. They feel this is like a boa constrictor, strangling the life out of them. And they're looking at the Prime Minister and they're asking their government what they're going to do to help them.
Yeah. So, look, I've spoken to Jim Chalmers a bunch of times. I've spoken to all the state treasurers a bunch of times. And despite all these handouts, they assured me that it's not inflationary. None of it's inflationary. Well, it seems like it is now. So what would you put it down to? What are some of the policies that you would like, if you could, to have wound back that just shouldn't have been in place?
Affordable energy is hitting people the hardest, I think, consistently across this country. I'm seeing it everywhere I go. Now, if you can't make your manufacturing process work in the first place because of the energy costs, if you're a resources company and you're looking at the government's safeguard mechanism, if you're considering investing in an energy project or a project that uses energy in this country and you've been told effectively that we don't want you because you're using gas, all of this, which is a huge part of our manufacturing base, is flowing through to every single small business. We'll cut red tape too, Pete, because that, as we know, is strangling households across this country. And of course, we'll have a back to basics economic plan, because wasteful spending by this government is adding to inflation and helping to create the problem. And Michelle Bullock has actually spelled that out. So with $315 billion of extra spending since Anthony Albanese became Prime Minister, no wonder we've got the two arms of economic policy working against each other.
Right. You're in Queensland. The Premier there just yesterday, he's already got the $1,000 energy handouts, which again assured us that wouldn't be inflation, and the RBA now disagrees. But he's put up this uncosted plan to buy up a dozen service stations. Thoughts on that?
Well, it's wonderful to be in Queensland. It always is. I've been confronted by one of the most desperate economic policies I think I've ever seen. It comes out of the state of Queensland and the party of Jim Chalmers. I think Queenslanders deserve a lot better than this. And I don't know where to start with this one, Pete, but it is quite clearly crazy. It will probably end up pushing up petrol prices and costing taxpayers more. So we know how hard David Crisafulli and his team are working in Queensland, and I just can't wait for that election to roll around in October and change the government in Queensland.
All right, we'll leave it there, Sussan Ley. Thank you.